I don't know if you know if Justin Timberlake and Usher were actually fighting over who could sign him.
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative.
Puff and Usher did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital.
Started getting sexually abused from the time I was 5.
Freeze. You're in shock. I mean, children aren't supposed to handle that sort of stuff.
People don't know how serious it got. Like, it was legit crazy scary.
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia.
That Justin Bieber got by Diddy.
It's not our fault that Usher didn't want to get fucked by Diddy anymore.
Which parent would say, you know what? We don't know you. We know that you're a celebrity. Go and hang out with this guy for weeks on end by yourself.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Picture this. A young Justin Bieber, just a teenager, suddenly thrown into the world of fame and all the sparkle that comes with it. He finds himself under the mentorship of the infamous Diddy, someone who many look up to in the music industry. But what if behind all the glitz, there was a side to their relationship that no one could see coming? Justin has been open about how difficult it was to be so young in such an intense industry. Everyone around him would say they loved him, but when things got tough, they would turn their backs in an instant. This roller coaster of relationships made him realize how important it was to know who he could really trust. He wanted to show that people could count on him, but he knew real connections had to come naturally. You can't force a relationship. It has to happen when it's right. And even though he wanted to be there for others, Justin understood that some things need to fall into place without pressure. Imagine being a teenage Justin Bieber, suddenly thrown into the world of fame, filled with lights, cameras, and non-stop attention. He was close to some of the biggest names in the industry, like Diddy, who was supposed to guide him. But what if behind all that mentoring, there was a darker side no one ever saw coming? Justin was young, and it wasn't easy for him to figure out who to trust in such a cutthroat industry. People would say they loved him, but in a heartbeat, they could turn their backs. It was a tough reality to face for a kid who just wanted to make his way through the world. He's always believed in letting people do their thing, especially when it comes to relationships. He knows that real connections can't be forced. They have to feel natural. So, when it came to the people in his life, Justin made sure to give them the space to grow, but also reminded them that he'd always be there if they needed him. For years, the entertainment industry has been full of secrets, parties, rumors, and dangerous influences that no one talks about. And now, as new stories start to come out, there's one big question on everyone's mind. Did Patty Millette, Justin's mom, unknowingly put him?
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me, but at the end of the day, I'm never gonna force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and
Would Diddy be tapping this kid in his chest to see if he wired and acing him, or he wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber ever make a song about what is it? I got smashed at the Diddy party or something like that? Why in the early 2000s? Patty Millette was a young mother facing immense pressure after enduring years of abuse, substance use, and hardship. She was just beginning to see a glimmer of hope through her son's raw talent. Well, starting from a young age. My parents split, as a lot of parents do, and an dad abandoned. Us moved, 10 hours away and then started getting sexually abused from the time I was 5 up until I was about 10 years old. And there was multiple abusers. And then, had really unhealthy relationships. And Amanda ended up getting into drugs and alcohol into teen years and had an attempted suicide at 17. It's hard to believe that somebody, just as beautiful as you've got Justin Bieber as your son, that you would even think about something as awful as suicide, that you've been through so much though. Yeah, but you're helping a load of people. I would imagine, I hope so, yeah, that's why I wrote this book. It's just to help others, some get through similar things that I've been through. For the people who are watching, and the moms especially who are saying, I've been through what you've been through. Identify with that. What advice would you give to the mom? I would just say, talk to somebody, and don't give up. Like, if there's hope, you don't have to stay in that dark place. Dustin's early videos on YouTube were getting noticed, and soon enough he was on the brink of stardom. Discov, read by Scooter Brand, quickly signed to Eslin Records under the guidance of Usher. Justin's rise to fame came with forces far beyond Patty's control, forces and embodied by people like Diddy. This follower day ultimate journey embarks on a journey all but unlike Summy. Mom was really like, she's a single mom, so she was like really skeptical of the music business. She had no clues. She wouldn't have a lawyer. We didn't want to sign or anything. So I of course us, or you said not a more poish, we said not a my human, no disrespect or anything. After that, a management started contacting us, different managers and stuff, and my mom again was like, sorry. Justin, imagine being in a position where everything feels uncertain, and you're just trying to figure out your next step. That's where I was. No lawyer, no clear direction. Then out of nowhere, we got this call. It was from a guy named Scooter, who eventually became my manager. At first, it felt a bit odd. He reached out again and again, almost stalking us. My mom was about to say, stop calling us. But then he said something that made her pause. He said, I see something special in your son. I can help you guys. My mom was skeptical at first. She didn't know who this guy was or what his intentions.
Why are you calling? Hey, that's me. Get back in your cage. Justin. Hey, I'm in charge of your grades, kiddo. Justin, this isn't even funny. So far, I'm getting straight A's, so I'm doing good. Justin. What? I'm going to tell you. You're joking. I'm daring. You should perhaps apologize. No. My mom means the world to me. She definitely keeps me level-headed, but she's got to understand. I'm 15, I joke around. She knows I was joking. Obviously. Some things are not.
Could we talk to and stuff, so we ended up flying to Atlanta free. A free of charge just for him to, check us out, get no use. And this is Scooter, yes, this is Scooter and a hand we ended up signing a deal with Usher a couple months later. Not long after signing his record, Justin barely found himself spending a non-shaper one weekend at Diddy's home. Gene Deal recalled how crazy things got, suggesting a level of freedom that raised serious concerns about Bieber's safety, bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that said probably so, but didn't they say he was young too? Yeah. They say he was young, let me get this name. Right, I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber, that's a good one. It might be you. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's a A-list, I can't think of that many black people, right, not at all, and somebody that more powerful or more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than he was A-list and he was younger, saying, and if he's not black, it would have to be Bieber, that's his name, Bieber. He said, I got hat wrong too. Justin Bieber allegedly, I don't know, bro, in a video from that time. Diddy joked on camera he's having 48 hours with Diddy. What we're doing, we can't really disclose for any teenage fan. It may have sounded like a dream come true. But for a mother looking back on those memories today, it might feel more like a nightmare. Where are we often? Now where would you like to go? Meaning wherever you want to go. Where are we going? We just so check this out. Justin, he's in, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives. Like, where are we hanging out and what we doing? We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. He have been given custody of him. He signed the Usher. User. 2 had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with Mizo. And we going to go full crazy, going crazy. Why crazy? I'm taking this out tonight. What you want to do over the next 48 hours. 48 hours, let's go, Mayor. We going to, let's just go get some girls. Let's get some girls. Men after my heart, that's what I'm talking about. Justin was in many ways thrown to the wolves. Diddy's notorious parties were legendary and sometimes notoriously wild as a teenager. Bieber was already thrust into an industry famed for its relentless partying and the unspoken dangers that came with it. Many close to Justin now argue that he should never have been exposed to situations, a sentiment showed by Deal, who witnessed the entertainment industry's day.
Minors, and a lot of people
have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of like suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and you know, they're making a lot of allegations.
Same way they made allegations about Usher. When Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired? And asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? Why?
If lawsuits actually come to pass, Combs would be facing sexual misconduct allegations on an unprecedented scale. This morning, Mew disturbs Situ's a pattern of older music, Mall taking young artists under their wings, exposing them to a lifestyle that could make or break them. Usher, too, was reportedly under Diddy's mentorship, a young age relationship that began with excitement and promise but now feels tainted in the wake of these revelations. Bieber, like Usher before him, became close with Diddy, and his rise to fame was influenced by an imagine being a mom, watching your son rise to stardom. You're filled with pride, but also a lot of fear, because the world he's entering isn't easy. That's where Patty, Justin Bieber's mom, found herself as her son's career took off. She trusted the people around him, like the industry veterans, thinking they'd help him along the way. What she didn't know was how deeply her choices would be questioned years later. Patty had faced a lot in her own life: abuse, addiction, and finding her way through tough times. All of this made her more vulnerable, and when it came to managing Justin's success, she may not have fully understood the risks. She let him work with people like Diddy, trusting their guidance, not realizing how much trouble this might cause in the future. As her son's career exploded, she couldn't have predicted that her decisions would later be scrutinized, with questions about whether she really knew what was best for him. The potential dangers, Patty, as we said earlier, your journey with God has taken many different turns and twists, and God has blessed your life with a precious son concert tonight. I mean, I just get creative, take away phones and computers and all kinds of stuff, yeah. And how does he respond to that? She like, Mom, I'm just a Bieber. You can't Dolate's reveal has set the celebrity world on fire. The Bombshell claim that Justin Bieber's mother, Patty Mallet, might have sold him to Diddy. This isn't a straightforward deal, though it's a claim that implies a complex web of manipulation, power dynamics, and neglect within the entertainment industry. I meant there's protections for animals, on filming. I think there need to be protections legally put in place to protect people when they're filming human beings. Jennifer Lawrence now hopes that legislation will be enacted in the wake of the Harvey Weinstein scandal. Weinstein's decades-long chain of alleged harassment was a dirty Hollywood secret as far as we know, though all of Weinstein's accusers were of legal age when the alleged incident occurred. But there is Hollywood's other dirty secret that victimizes the most vulnerable children, and someone who's spoken out about this and is painfully aware is former child star Corey Feld. Many you freeze. You're in shock. I mean, children aren't supposed to handle that sort of stuff. I can't tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be.
Starting from a young age, my parents split, as, a lot of parents do, and my dad abandoned us, moved, 10 hours away, and then started getting sexually abused from the time I was 5 up until I was about 10 years old, and there was multiple abusers, and then, had really unhealthy relationships and ended up getting into drugs and alcohol into teen years, and had an attempted suicide at 17.
It's hard to believe that somebody, just as beautiful as you've got Justin Bieber as your son, that you would even think about something as awful as suicide, that you've been through so much, though.
Yeah.
But you're really helping a lot of people, I would imagine.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that's why I wrote this book, is just to help others get through similar things that I've been through.
For the people who are watching, and the moms especially, who are saying, I've been through what you've been through, I identify with that, what advice would you give to them?
I would just say, talk to somebody and don't give up. There's hope. You don't have to stay in that dark.
About pedophilia, it's the big secret and it's widespread. Oh hi, I was surrounded by them for years now, as evidenced on Nightline in 2011. Corey Feldman has been claiming that he and his good friend, the late Corey Hay, were victims of molestation when they were young actors last year. He opened up to our Alex Hudging. Kids are scared. You know, kids don't think I'm going to go first of all, for meth a person that was doing it to meth the most. You know him well? I mean, I could say that the two people that did it to me were friends of mine, or so I thought. Let's rewind to the mid-2000s when a 15-year-old Justin Bieber first became entangled in Diddy's orbit. This connection wasn't random. It was Usher, another of Diddy's protégés, who played a significant role in introducing the teen pop star to the mogul. First time you met Justin Bieber, this kid comes up to you. He's not Justin Bieber. It's just some kid. And he says, I want to sing for you. It was at the studio of Jermaine Dupri. I said, you know, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager? I'd love to meet with you and do this in a formal setting. I'm late for an appointment with Jermaine Dupri, right? And I don't want to keep him waiting. Let's just do this the right way. And then you have him come to audition for you. I'd actually were a few people. My wife at the time, it also was Perry Reed, Reed's first wife. So you were all sitting in a room, some wiener room, and I showed her the video, and Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down the and meet this kid right now. He's amazing when all these dick pics come out, and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis. Are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people. Ilor, are you is that the kind of manager he doing? Are you sitting down with him and saying, yes, show you core, leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR, have the way he does have a brain of his own. Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis? Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life. But Usher is somebody I had nothing to do with. Justin Bieber's private parts. Man, come on, Usher, who himself had spent part of his youth under Diddy's mentorship. A so-called flavor camp didn't paint a pretty picture of that experience. He once confessed that being around Diddy exposed him to things far beyond his years, things that still haunted him. While Usher didn't spell out every detail, his words left little to the imagination. Parties with explicit content, unsettling power dynamics, and an atmosphere where anything could happen. He moved to New York City, and he lived with Sean Puffy CS Ferrer. That's the crazy thing now. That was Reed's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp Gotta. And if that's what it was called, and you're going to gotta Puff Daddies, he's going
So my mom was really she's a single mom, so she was really skeptical of the music business. She had no clue. We didn't have a lawyer. We didn't want to sign anything. So.
Right, of course. So you said no to Maury Povich.
We said no to Maury. No disrespect or anything.
No, I hear you.
After that, management started contacting us, different managers and stuff. And my mom again was like, sorry, Justin, we don't have a lawyer. So we finally got in contact. This guy contacted us named Scooter, who's my manager now, and basically stalked us a little bit, kind of got in contact with us, and finally my mom was calling him back to, say, listen, stop calling me. And he was like, I really see a lot in your son. I can help you guys. And my mom was really skeptical at first. They ended up talking for a couple hours, and he knew some lawyers that we could talk to and stuff. So we ended up flying to Atlanta free of charge, just for him to, check us out and get to know us. And
this is Scooter.
Yes, yeah. This is Scooter, and we ended up signing a deal with Usher a couple months.
Were cameras scattered around the rooms, recording everything. Meanwhile, Bieber's troubled father, Jeremy Bieber, also raised eyebrows, a man with a colorful past himself. Jeremy recently came under fire for managing his young daughter Ba's Instagram account in ways that critics found disturbing. Photos of Ba's young child were posted in outfits that, while innocuous to some, attracted an unsettling amount of attention from adult men. His situation only added fuel to the idea that Bieber's parents might not have always had his best interests at heart, leaving him vulnerable to the influences surrounding him. Hey, tell me, what does it mean to be an ambassador? What's your job? What you do? I do you tell people about it? Yeah. But note at this moment in time, but what you wanted to get behind this, because you're always on the internet, right? So you know what it's like to be on. What are you doing when you were on the internet? Are you watching videos of your brother Justin? Yes, I listen to music and stuff. So do you think it's important that you have something like kids Wi-Fi to be able to protect you? Yeah. And Jeremy, you have it at home, right? We do, yeah, and we love it. And was it just that simple as we were hearing it? It's under 2 minutes you said to get the Whole thing up and running. Yeah, you essentially just plug it in and away you go. Very good. Multiple sources have hinted that Justin went through a period of influence over him was strongest. According to insider reports, Diddy's mentorship allegedly included exposing Bieber to an adult world. Before he was ready, former associates of Bieber, who chose to remain anonymous, claimed that he would occasionally express feeling trapped in the industry and overwhelmed by the high-stakes environment. On December 8th, now our GMA cover story, pop superstar Justin Bieber revealing he's now sleeping in an oxygen chamber. Asha faces what he calls deep-rooted issues, so Kenneth help Dr. Janice back in a moment. But first, there's Diane Massa this morning, another clue to pop star Justin Bieber's state of mind. In his latest Instagram post, the singer admits she was unhappy during his last tour, and his is now, quote, very focused on repairing some of the deep-rooted issues that I have, so that I don't fall apart. This on the heels of another Instagram post where he describes feeling super disconnected and weird. Bieber's also sharing images on Insta. Agramoff himself inside a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Fans are now wondering if he's using the chamber to improve his mental health. There's a good feeling and uplifting of the mood because it also increases serotonin and high, you feel energized, pain is decreased, you feel good afterwards. Hyperbaric chambers typically conditions ranging from carbon monoxide poisoning to vision loss, but no studies have shown that it can improve mental health. Bieber hasn't said exactly why he's using the
Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said. Probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be you. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right, not at all. And somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger, you know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber, allegedly. I don't know, bro.
Recently, Justin Bieber posted some pictures that really caught people's attention. In the photos, it looks like he's crying, and naturally people are asking, why? The big question on everyone's mind is, are those tears real, or is he just putting on a performance? During a meeting we had earlier, some of us started talking about it. Some people wondered if maybe he wasn't actually crying, but instead, using the moment for some kind of artistic expression. Either way, it's left fans questioning what's truly happening behind those photos. What do you think? Is it real emotion, or just another moment for the spotlight? Putaya drops in something, but others thought, not this is real. You don't know, but it certainly projects an image of somebody who's almost tormented. Well, it's interesting because he uploaded a gallery of photos, and in that gallery there were like performance photos. There was a photo of marijuana, and then the next slide was 2 photos of him looking emotional with like tears coming down his faces. So obviously everybody in the comments was like, are you okay? What's going on? Like a lot of concern, and his wife Hailey actually commented on his post saying a pretty crier with the emoji where it's smiling but like a tear is coming down its face. What do you think that means? I think it's showing that it's not serious, but I do think it's also acknowledging that it was tears. It wasn't that it was just like eye drops from cuz the reason why people think it might be eye drops is because the photo right before was of marijuana, so people thought, oh, he's putting in eye drops because he was just in the photos. Justin Bieber posted, it was obvious he was feeling something deep. Hal even commented, you're such a cute crier, which made it clear that Justin was really emotional. But here's the twist. He didn't say exactly what was going on. Fans are left wondering, what's behind those tears? Will he open up or keep it to himself? It's got a lot of people worried and talking. Now, there's a theory floating around, based on what a former tour manager said. According to them, Justin's choice to distance himself from Diddy wasn't just about a shift in his career. It was more than that. It was a decision to break free from some influences he felt were affecting his life in a negative way. You see, Justin's been through a lot, and it looks like he's making moves to find a new, healthier path for himself. Maybe this emotional post is just the beginning of him reclaiming control over his own journey. Fans are curious and hopeful to see where this goes next. In the photos Justin Bieber posted, It was obvious he was feeling something deep. Hal even commented, "You're such a cute crier," which made it clear that Justin was really emotional. But here's the twist. He didn't say exactly what was going on. Fans are left wondering, what's behind those tears? Will he open up or keep it to himself? It's got a lot of people worried and talking. Now,
Where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go get some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about.
Justin Bieber's journey has been anything but easy, but he's finally opening up about how much he's grown and the tough lessons he's learned along the way. He admits that in the past, his actions hurt people, but he no longer carries shame about it. He's come to terms with his mistakes and is using them as stepping stones for his personal growth. The real turning point came when Justin realized he had to make a change. Struggling with addiction, he hit rock bottom. He was so bad off that his security had to check his pulse at night to make sure he was still alive. It's a part of his story that most people didn't know, but it shows just how serious things got for him. However, instead of letting it destroy him, Justin chose to take control and get sober. It wasn't an easy path, but it was the start of his journey to recovery. Now, Justin is embracing his truth, learning from his past, and showing the world that even the darkest moments can lead to a brighter future. It's a powerful reminder that it's never too late to change and take responsibility for the life you want to build. Imagine being in Justin Bieber's shoes, waking up every morning with a routine that includes popping pills and smoking to get through the day. It was his normal until one day he realized just how out of control things had become. Fear took over, and he turned to something bigger than himself. He said, "If you help me through this, I'll do the rest." It was a cry for help that marked the beginning of a tough road to recovery. Getting off the pills was a huge step for Justin, but even then, he wasn't done facing his struggles. He admits that while he stopped the substance abuse, he didn't dive into the deeper issues that had been hiding inside. The real work, the emotional healing, was still waiting for him. It was in September 2014 when he first crossed paths with someone who would later become a big part of his life. At that point, Justin was a mess. He had just quit using drugs, but was still dealing with anxiety, sleepless nights, and the overwhelming weight of it all. But those first few steps, no matter how hard, were the beginning of his journey towards finding peace and healing.